This is the Carty Method Podcast.
Hey, you clicked on this because you might be tired of feeling stuck, wondering why your pictures aren't landing. Maybe your inquiries are quiet, and maybe your momentum is stalling out. Probably you've watched enough YouTube tutorials. I'm sure you've bought the gear, but maybe your results are not showing up. Today, I'm going to show you why and what you need to change to never make the same mistakes again. You see, most photographers think that the biggest mistakes are technical: exposure, composition, color grading. But those aren't the mistakes that keep you broke. The real mistakes is making the wrong work for the market, packaging that work like an amateur, and posting without a plan. You could be insanely talented, but if you don't know how to position yourself, if you don't know how to speak to an ideal audience, and if you don't know how to show the kind of work that solves their problems, then none of that talent matters. Inside Portfolio Lab, I help you correct these mistakes in real time. Twice a week on YouTube, and once a week we do a deep dive Zoom session where we build your packaging from the ground up. I've been a working professional photographer for 35 years. I've made every single mistake in the book, and I've learned how to fix them one by one, from showing the wrong work to chasing clients that were never going to pay you in the first place, to building a portfolio that was more about me than the market I was trying to serve. I've lived through it, and I've come out the other side. Today, during this Portfolio Lab, I'm going to show you how to skip years of guessing, and I'm going to teach you how to correct the mistakes that are holding you back right now. In this episode of Portfolio Lab, I'm revealing real work from photographers inside my Portfolio Lab community. You're going to see the exact critiques, the mindset shifts, and the corrections that can completely change the way that you shoot and the way that you get hired. Watch closely, take notes. These are mistakes that you never need to make again. Let's get into it. All right. So week 32. Week 32 is what we are in right now. And today is Tuesday. Tuesday, we look at pictures that you are considering for your portfolio. Stuff that you're thinking, hey, this should probably go in my book, or maybe I'm not sure. Maybe I need Carty's eyes on it to help me decide. We have, how many people are we looking at today? We have, I think, 14 submissions, starting with Courtney Turner. Courtney says, I'm off the hiatus. I'm back to the grind. Had a chance to photograph my friend's C8 Corvette Stingray. Does this have a place in my book? Shot with the Z7. 50 millimeter, 1.8, ISO 200, shot at f9 at a 40th of a second. This is natural light, overcast. This is Mr. Courtney Turner. Courtney, let's get it on. Courtney, this is a vibe. This is a vibe. You're doing a bit of a top down for this one, and this is going to be a big overlay. Let me fix this instantly, because, you know, this is set for how it was on Sunday. Make this a little bit bigger. All right, Courtney, this is a really good swing. This is a really good swing. And I'm going to say that because of the non-distracting background. I'm going to give you a couple of different frames for you to look at. You got really good concrete down here. You got really good color, a nice white clean vet, but we do have this block up here that for me isn't really necessary. Let me just change this. Red feels like I'm negatively marking you, like high school. So let's make this a little bit more my brand. So you can see up here, it's like, just imagine if this wasn't part of the frame and you ended your frame here, and then just this is the picture. For me, well, then now that this has to be a bit lower in the frame, so maybe you back the vet up just a little bit. Let's look at this as a cover. Again, for me, if this was just on the gray, really, that's it for me. Small things with your framing, Courtney. Just watch here versus here. And then with this Corvette, the bottom of the car, the ass end is definitely like a brand, but the front of the car is a brand and the side of the car is the brand, the hood. So for me, with this Corvette, this definitely shows brand identity here. But if you see this car from the front, it looks like a supercar. So for me also, I'm interested in seeing what else you shot of this. Let me show you what this looks like as an 8x10. And you can see this as an 8x10. This is how it's going to look on Instagram. We're gonna lose most of the frame, or you're gonna push this up and include the green. Again, Courtney, it's close. The hard thing is that green is on a slope. You see this? There's a retaining wall here and a retaining wall here, and then it's got this here is where the concrete meets the retaining wall. So this and that, like line wise, this kind of messes up your lines. You know what I mean? So because it's messing up your lines, well, now I'm asking like, well, do we need, my vibe is I cut this frame right here. And then because of that, now this is what I have to work with background wise. And then this car is too high in the frame. I need to bring this car back down. And then for me, I would then also rotate this car so I can see, like I can get the whole 360 degree. So that's my take. Can it go in your book? Yes. Will this be a picture that comes out of your book quickly? Yes. And again, it might be just trumped by other shots that you made that session. This is a really good swing though, Courtney. This is a very, very, very good swing. I want you to prioritize the front of the car. Let's have a look at your Instagram because I'm curious to see some of this collection all together. So let's just investigate your Instagram. Works. For me, again, horizon, I want this to be straight. You're on your way, Courtney. You're on your way. Like, again, I just want you to shoot more so you accumulate enough frames so I then can take those frames and edit and narrow it down to what the shots are that you should be showing. But if you look at what your work looked like back before you found me, and what your Instagram looked like, and then now since you've found me, and what your Instagram looks like, it's a huge improvement. Good shit, Courtney. All right, that is Courtney Turner with our first submission, this vet. Nice one. Well done, Courtney. All right, next on the docket. Next on the docket is Torrance Davis. Haven't seen this one for a minute. Finally found time to shoot a selfie portrait on black. Fuji X-T3 shot with the Siru 56mm 1.2. ISO 100 f8 at a 1/60th of a second. Shot with a Godox 8300 Pro with the softbox. This is Mr. Torrance Davis. Torrance, let's get it on. Thanks for submitting. Torrance, there's something here. I mean, for me, I appreciate the lightheartedness. And I'm not saying that I need you to be serious, but I do need like a level of like, I'm a professional, like I'm to be trusted, I'm to be paid. Like for me, there's a couple of things here. The cartoon the cartoon hoodie and the expression. For me, the glasses are great. The expression is just a little bit too like snapshotty in such a beautiful area. And then this hoodie, nice contrast against the white, but it just needs to be flat white. It can't have a brand, a logo, a favorite thing. It's not pro enough. Exposure here is under. I'm going to call this under by half a stop, which is 50%. So you're going to have to give 50% more exposure here. I want you to look at me here, my exposure on my grill versus, oh my God, look at all the dust I have on my head. Whew. Maybe that's why my hat was on. Jeez Louise. Make sure I don't have anything on my face. Yeah? Oh no, it's all over. It's what happens when you have a freshly shaved head. Everything sticks to it. All right, Courtney. So the glasses are great. The head angle is just starting to catch the reflection of the light here because your head is up. And also the head up in your head angle is revealing a double chin that you don't really have. It's because you're pulling your chin back, which is what guys do. You've heard me say before, guys, when taking self-portraits or when in a picture, they go up and to the left, like Kennedy, up and to the left. So it's like, and also, or they pull back. And when you're pulling back, like we're trying to extend our chin, like you see how this strengthens all the muscles in here when you pull out, and then also it strengthens the muscles in here. I mean, you can't see I have a beard, but when you pull back, you can imagine pulling back like this is going to give you a double chin. And that's what you're doing in this photo. So there's a couple of things about, again, the positioning. You don't want anything else to be noticed except for you. You want to see you first. I'm seeing two faces. So you're forcing me to dance between this illustration and your face. And then the expression that you're doing is making me think that in the head angle that you're doing, it's making me feel like you're trying to be this guy, which again is not the professional $5,000 a day photographer that we're trying to portray. So I want you to see how I show myself on the interweb. Let me just show you. Sorry, my music stopped because I glitched it. Let me just do that again. Epidemic sound. All right, there we go. So let me just show you what my about page looks like. You can see where I'm showing images of me. Images of me. It's about approachable, confident, friendly, likable. Approachable, confident, friendly, professional, likable. That's what it's about with this photography. And yes, I show myself smiling. You know what I mean? But I'm looking off like someone's talking to me. Like it's more conversational, you know? So, it's a fine line, Torrance, that we're trying to walk when it comes to shooting pictures of ourselves. It really is a fine line that we're trying to walk. This is very close. This is a good swing. Again, watch head angles, and again, make sure that you're wearing the right thing. It's not about what's on your t-shirt when you're in a photo. That's why, like for me, when I do photos for my thumbnails, it's never anything on a shirt. Never. All right. That is Torrance Davis. This is Mr. Sedgwick. Greetings, Carty and crew. Thanks for the review. Sony A7C 85mm 1.8 ISO 160 f11 at an 80th of a second. This is William Sedgwick with a single strobe. William, this is clean, competent, and usable. This is very, very clean. This is great. Exposure is just, I mean, this is pretty bang on, my guy. Pretty bang on. I just want you to watch the highlights. There's a little bit of highlight issue in here. Perhaps that highlight slider. Which goes 100 that way and negative 100 that way, and that's 0. Just pull that slider just a little bit. You also have to watch your color balance, your white balance. Make sure that this stays white and that you're grabbing color balance in here in the shadow. Overall, for me, this is an absolute yes. This is pretty much spot on. Let's look at this close up just to check the focus. Your focus is good. This is really good, Sedgwick. This is really, really, really good. Yeah, I got nothing to say. This is really a perfect execution Let's see this as a cover. Super strong. He's got the right expression. And let's see this as an 8x. Let's pull this down here. Frame she properly. So that's what an 8x10 looks like. Really good framing, William. Really, like, the discipline here is noticeable. And you, from my perspective, you leveled up on this photo shoot. This is a yes for me. That's an 11. Unequivocally, that's an 11 for sure. Good shit. Good deal. Camera looks odd today. Not sure what's going on. Not sure if that's the exposure that's on my light. But usually how I fix this is by increasing the exposure on this light a little bit. But no, it should be... Yeah, it just looks a little under for some reason. It's a bit better, yeah? Perhaps it's because I don't have these on. Hello? Hello? There you go. All right, it's going to help a bit. Pull this down a little bit. Yeah, anyways, I'm very wary of my shot. All right, next on the docket is Mario Murray. Mario, beer at sunset. Went on a fishing trip with my frat brothers, remembered the Coca-Cola assignment, decided to give it another try with an Ultra R6. 2000th of a second, f2.8 at ISO 250. This is Mario Murray. Mario, let's get it on. So, couple things about this frame. This is a good swing. There's a couple things about this frame. Good swing, though. First of all, your horizon line. I want you to look at distractions, okay? This bridge, this horizon is a distraction. It's going through the cap. This line here is a distraction because it's going through the product. This line here and this line is a distraction because it's going through the product. This line. So in this situation, you see how this beer is on like on the inside of the, like, put the beer here. Put the beer on the edge of the boat. That's a bad beer drawing. But put the beer here on the edge of the boat. Okay? Because now you're creating this extra layer of depth. The next thing is exposure. The exposure here is supposed to be normal, which we'll call perfect exposure. This right now, I'm going to call this under by almost a full stop. We'll call it 2/3 to 1 full stop under. The reason? Because you're aiming at the sun here, and your camera sees the sun and then it exposes for here, but you want to expose for here. So unless you're using exposure compensation and telling the camera, make this brighter so I can get this scene, or you're using a reflector that you have here that's taking the light that's bouncing here and kicking back in at your product, or you're lighting it with a studio strobe that runs on battery power. So doing it natural light, it's hard because the sun's coming from the wrong direction. If you put the Michelob bottle over here and didn't try to also capture the sunset, trying to do two things in one photo. Number one, photograph the beer. Number two, capture the sunset. Why are you trying to capture the sunset? The beer is the company that's paying you. So figure out a way to make the beer look the best, irregardless, like you're trying, and also you're offsetting the beer in order to include the sunset. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago, or a couple of review shows ago. You're trying to make one photo. You're making two photos in one. Look at this sunset, look at this beer. They're both like, but that's not photography. Photography is one product, one subject, one thing on a location that's complementary. This is, you're not sure what's the priority. That's why you offset the beer, because you think that this is equally as important as this. So there's a lot wrong with this photo. You don't just get it to walk into product photography and it's going to hit like perfectly. And it's also hard, like you're trying to reinvent the wheel. like as far as the idea, you have an idea and then you execute it. That's reinventing the wheel. If you're wanting to make a beer ad that's good enough to go in your portfolio for Michelob, it starts with you looking at what Michelob have done before with their advertising, looking at other beer advertising, look at other beer advertising shot on boats. And then do you see a lot of beer advertising shot on boats? Probably. And then you start, so you're trying to reinvent, like new idea. What I'm trying to tell you is do more of what's working. It goes like this. This is the order. I want you guys, everybody at home, to lock this in. This is what we do. We do more. We do better. 1, 2, and then 3 is new. Okay? 3 is new. New is unproven. Unproven is not smart. What you want to do is do more of what is proven. Okay? Better of what is proven, or a new version of what is proven. But when you're just doing new, it's so easy to miss. It's so easy to miss when you do new. Stoic Jason, welcome. I'm glad you're here. It's very hard when you do new, which is why I talk about intelligent imitation. Look at what works that other photographers have done and try to do your version of that. Because photography is such a blank canvas. Photography is such a blank canvas. So if you want to be a painter, you're putting paint on a canvas, but in what style? Are you doing photorealism? Are you doing abstract? Are you doing portraits? Like, even if you're putting paint on a canvas, you have to decide what style you are doing that in so you can be categorized. If you're trying to be a photographer, you have to decide what style you're doing that in and what subject matter you're shooting so you can be categorized. It's very difficult to be like, hey, I was out with the boys and so I decided I was going to be a product photographer that day, and think that your whim of shooting a product is going to hit as hard as Garan, who that's all he does is product photography. So when all you do is product photography, well, then that becomes your obsession. And if that becomes your obsession, then that's all you shoot. That's all you look at. And then because of that, well, then you're able to execute the profound. And you're able to do that because you only focus on, and by the way, this person picture, this is on figure product. He's shooting the eyewear on figure. He's a product photographer. So when you see a person, this is for the eyewear company. This is on figure. Don't get it twisted. He is a pure product photographer. He's just closer to our man Raymond Meyer. He has depth and he does composites and he can do other things, but he's a product photographer. So the more you dive into that world, Mario, the better that you're going to be. But you have to decide what kind of a photographer that you are. Are you a portrait photographer? Do you shoot people, places, or things? Once you decide, you have to completely immerse yourself in that. If you're not sure, do phase 0. Phase 0. This is for everybody who's not sure about like maybe what the next step that they should be doing with their photography. Super simple. Go to thecardymethod.com, go to the system, and then you will find the link for phase 0 right here. And it has its own sales page. And in fact, I'm going to even put this in chat, Mario, because it's so important. And I think that you need this like yesterday. So again, phase 0 is in chat. I'll also put it in the video description. This will change your reality. It'll change your reality, and it'll really help you determine what photographs you should be making. Most photographers fail not because they're not good enough technically, is because they're trying to reinvent the wheel rather than using proven, like seeing what's working and doing their own version of that. Okay. You're too new to reinvent the wheel. For me, I can reinvent that stuff because I have decades, like 3.5 of them. All right, next up is Rafael Ortiz. Raf says, I'm trying to incorporate more color into my portfolio. Shop Friday in studio, D850, Sigma 85, 1.4, ISO 80, F5, 1/60th of a second, and shot with 2 Godox strobes. This is Mr. Rafael Ortiz. Raf, your light's getting better, your post-production's getting better, and your sets are getting better, and your models are getting better. This girl's hair should be down. That's the only thing that's missing, bro. This is such a yes, but I want you to look at her hair. Like, look at skin tone, makeup, everything, but her hair is in a very sloppy ponytail, right? And then, so for me, I talked a couple of weeks ago about hair being down and how hair down shapes the face. You see all the flyaways, you see, like, her hair looks like an afterthought. Now, I'm also seeing the retouching, and retouching needs some work. I'm seeing some skin tone things where the color balance of the skin tone isn't really right. And then looking at the lipstick, Raf, what's going on here? What's going on here? Did she just completely forget that her lip goes down like that and then back up again? Because she looks like she just painted lipstick all the way over. So the overpainted lip you see all the way down here, her lip is overpainted. This is the stuff that you have to care about. As a photographer, this is the stuff that you have to care about, because your clients are going to look at your photographs this closely. Your clients are going to look at your photographs this closely. I'll say it a third time. Your clients are going to look at your photographs this closely. And when I look at her skin here, I see a little bit of over processing. I see how she has this skin texture, but it somehow stops here and then starts again down here. But that, like, so it's going, like, there's the post-production is what now for a relatively, it's a really strong frame, good pose, good composition, beautiful blue on blue, but you're losing it in the details. You're losing it in the, like, having her hair down so her hair kind of falls, and it's like, it'll feel like zhuzh, you know what I mean? And it upscales this image. She doesn't put on this sexy slink dress with, like, no bra and, like, but then have her hair up in a bun like she's doing housework. You know what I mean? So there's something there that's not computing. So yeah, Rafael, this is so close, but now the season that you're in, you're in the season of details now. You're in the season of details. You're in the season of working with really good crews. And you're in the season of not letting, like, look at how up here looks sloppy. Like, the part's not done exactly. Like, it's the hair, like, this girl it's a rock. She's a rocket. But what you do in post, how you shoot it, how you treat this, like, all of that is how, like, and again, this is a 10 out of 10. And it is a level up for you. But where I'm trying to take you, Rafael, 11s is what we need. I'm giving you an 11 on this because this is unequivocally a level up for your work. But we're not done. We're not done. You don't get to rest. Watch how close this finger is to the edge. I love the pose though. I love the little sass in her face. This is strong, Rafael. You get love for this. I see you improving. And again, it's like, hey, Adam C, welcome. Thanks for becoming a subscriber, brother. I appreciate you. Raf, you're improving. Okay, Can a skilled photographer make good money if he works with OnlyFans models? I mean, if he has his own page and he like, bro, there's all kinds of hustles that you can do, Richard. There's all kinds of hustles that you can do, but I'm not the guy to talk to you about business models for shooting with OnlyFans models, because they're people. I work for companies, and like, yes, sex sells, but it's pornography, and it just passes across that line. So for me, not only can I not show that stuff on YouTube, it's just like, I don't know, it's at a lower frequency. Richard, you're asking, can a skilled photographer make good money if he works with OnlyFans? Like, you're a skilled photographer. Why would you take that skill and apply it to girls doing cam shows? Why would you not apply your skilled photography to businesses? Like, to businesses who need photography to move their business forward. The only reason, Richard, that you want to make, like, you're wanting to get next to OnlyFans girls is because you want to see girls naked. Is that the reason? Because you want to see girls naked? Because if that's the reason, well, yeah, sure, you're skilled. Have fun. Have at it. I'm not the guy to help you. You know what I mean? I'm not the guy to help you. Because for me, it's lower frequency. But Nick Johnson, Nick's a photographer. He's in chat. Nick shoots models. He shoots like, but see, Nick changed the frequency. Nick does it at a higher frequency. And although Nick, if you look at Nick's work, Nick not just only shoots model, like Nick's not shooting girls for OnlyFans. He's shooting for lingerie brands and for modeling agencies and for athletes, you know? So like, why not take your, again, skilled photography and apply it to people who need photography? Because believe me, with OnlyFans, you're competing with girls and these phones. They don't need you. They can do it all on their own, right? So then now you're trying to convince them that they need your photography. Well, again, like, why do you need to shoot girls who are for OnlyFans so badly? Why do you need to do that? Well, to be next to naked girls. Well, then look at Anna Diaz. And again, I can't show you Anna Diaz because her work is, will get me flagged. But Anna Diaz, she's for Playboy. And her work is like, her work is so, like, I can show like, here, let me see what I can show. So Anna Diaz, this girl, this little Brazilian killer, shoots for Playboy. She is Playboy's #1 photographer. And she's a female. And who are these models going to trust more than a female to shoot this kind of stuff? Like, her bar, like, how, like, her work is fire. And I will post Anna Diaz. And again, it's like, why is OnlyFans your bar? It's here. It's below here. It's down here. And yes, it's $1 billion company, but it's like, why not just go the whole way and shoot pornography? Make real money, make videos. You know what I mean? But again, I'm not the one to help you. I'm sorry. I'm not the guy to help you. I'm the guy to help you get into Vogue, not get next to OnlyFans girls. You can do that without my help. That's easy. Yeah, girls who are now at the point where they're selling their body for money, like, it's low frequency. For me, I just don't deal with that because it's low. I try to deal at a higher frequency. I try to bring value to people. I try to bring value to businesses. If you've shifted your mindset from how to sell sex to how to sell how to sell value, like, your whole mindset would change. Again, like, I shoot nudes, but I shoot art nudes for coffee table books and exhibition, not like girls. But again, it's like, I'm not judging. I'm just saying it's at a different frequency than the kind of work that I'm trying to do. And I'm trying to teach people to do. Nakumba Booker Jr. All right. Nakumba says, this shot broke a lot of barriers for me, being a part of my first studio session, first time using reflection, and a creative twist for the imperfect project. Okay. Canon M50, 24-70, 24 millimeter, f4.5, 100th of a second, I'm gathering, at 100 ISO. Nakumba Booker Jr. Nakumba, let's have a look at what you're doing here. And for me, it's idea. All of the same things hold true with everything that I talked to you about the last picture that you were doing in studio, what you're doing with the shadows, the post-production that you're doing in the shadows here is like everything that I said on last week's picture, on Thursday's picture. The edge of the shadow here is a hard edge. The edge of the shadow here is the actual edge. So the way that you're cleaning up your shadows is very noticeable. The post-production, there's mistakes, like all of this stuff. I'm going to see it. A client's going to see it. So how you're lighting in the studio, this is the same. Again, it's still, you're brand new in the studio. So I'm giving you love for trying, but it's all based on idea. And Nakumba, this idea is not, it doesn't hit. This idea is not your last idea with just shooting her projecting camera, but her projecting into a mirror. This mirror has some sort of words on it, which are totally non-related. The studio has a window. So now you're breaking the fifth wall and I'm seeing like outside, which all, and it's just, again, I'm going to like, you need phase 0, Nakumba. You need phase 0 because ideas, it's idea first. And if you have, like, for me, this is an idea that if you told me this idea, I'd say, please don't shoot that. It's like, it's not a thing. It's like, and then when you see the execution, you can see like, it's not showing the clothes, which the clothes are what you're hired to shoot. It's not showing the model because the model is like back behind. And if you're going to want to do a shot like this, it has to be beauty. It has to be cropped like this, which you have seen. This girl isn't a hand model, so she doesn't know how to hold the product properly. Like you're battling uphill in a situation that like you're making something more complicated that doesn't need to be this complicated. Like what you need to learn how to shoot is this. You need to learn how to shoot this clean, competent light, well posed, like that's what you need to shoot. But you're trying stuff. And I know that it's your first time in the studio, but you need to be trying in the, is getting tech, just understanding how to just shoot competent, straight up pictures without trying to do without trying to do pretzel legs, like without trying to do the stuff that you're doing. You need to bring it right back to the elements, like core photography. And again, Raphael, I'm using your image as a reference. Feel that. Nakumba, for me, you need to bring it back to the core. There's so many things wrong with the execution of this picture and the idea. If you focus just on simple, just have a model look at the camera, like have her hands up, like super simple. Just push her hip out. Just look at the camera. Standing. That's another thing. Nobody, last time, girls lying on the ground. This time, she's sitting on an ugly stool. Like, what's your fascination with props? Remove the props, shoot a model standing, and learn how to do like grit first day. You're doing like 25th day, where you're trying to just basically execute your own ideas. You haven't proven that you can shoot, like, if someone says, I need a portrait of myself on a perfect white, you haven't proven that you can execute requests yet. So before you start getting into like your greatest hits and your ideas, you need to prove that you can shoot clean white on studio. Prove that first before you start with these ideas, Nakumba. You have to walk before you run. Okay, thanks for submitting. For me, this is a miss. All right. Next up is Lincia Taylor. Lincia says she's trying to be more consistent with photos and getting out there more. Nikon D610 with a 51.8, ISO 220. Really? ISO 220? I don't think that's an ISO that the camera does. F4, 1/60th of a second, natural light. This is Lincia Taylor. Lincia. Okay, this is a good execution. This is a really, this is a good execution. I don't love the pose. And again, you're learning posing, and posing is part of it. Here's a situation. Let me show you. There's a wall like right here beside me. Okay. So what seems more natural? Me turning my back. Sorry, I got to go this way. Me turning my back to this wall and turning my head this way to look at you, or me like this and just leaning on this wall. So my shoulder is hitting the wall and I'm projecting my energy to you. What seems like it makes more sense? Because for me, look at her neck. Look at her neck and how she's doing like she's giving, like she's having to hold herself that way. And then the next thing, it emphasizes so much other stuff that's happening on the body, the distance between here, when you choose to shoot someone from here. It's not anybody's best look is turning them sideways and shooting them that way and having them turn their head that way. So like, be more natural. Like if you were having a conversation with somebody, if you were having and that person is right here, would you be talking to them like this? Would you be talking to them like that? Or would you turn to them and project and talk to them that way? And then when you got tired of standing, you'd probably lean, right? And still talk to them that way and project your energy that way, right? So with models, why do photographers turn their models away so their energy is projecting out of the frame, like they can't wait to leave? And then you're asking them to do the most awkward thing, which is, okay, your head naturally wants to go that way. So now turn it that way and look at me. Like, that's a recipe for disaster. So Lincia, be more natural with your poses, okay? Be more natural with your poses rather than what I just demonstrated. Person leans and then they're still like looking at you. And that's the vibe. And also look what happens in the neck when you do like that turn. Look what's happening in her neck. This happens because this happens to everybody when they're naturally supposed to be projecting that way, and you make them rotate their head that way. And then look at her in her face, because it's not comfortable for her to do that. Excuse me. It's not comfortable for her to be doing that. So then now in her face, she's like holding this position that you put her in. So the light, yes. The location is okay. This is monumentally better than your last swings. But I want you to remember, people's energy comes from our heart and our eyeballs, okay? From our heart. So try to capture the energy that's coming from here with your subjects. So align their body with and so they're projecting that way. So it's not, I'm projecting and looking over here. It's like, now you as a photographer, you're just an observer. What are you doing there? Like, what are you doing there taking a photo of this person who's not even clearly paying attention to you? Like, so keep your subjects and keep your viewer in the picture. Keep the energy in the picture by turning your subject to you. Square up like you would be having a one-to-one conversation. Because what you're doing is you're setting up that third party that you have no control over, the viewer. The viewer picks up on that connection that you have heart to heart with your subject, eye to eye with your subject, that eye contact, now you're bringing that to the third party that you can't control, the viewer. So body language, I'm a master at it. And this is why I break down poses the way I do, because every way that you position somebody says something. This girl is not saying, I'm comfortable. She's saying, I'm doing this because this photographer put me here. It doesn't feel, it feels staged. And then I know that you're shooting grad portraits, but taking this sash off makes this like, it elevates this and makes you able to use this photo for more than just, I got hired to shoot grad pictures. Here's me shooting grad pictures. Like when you take the sash off, then you can use it in a portfolio that now does not make this look like event photography. It looks like intentional editorial photography. And I'm trying to slide you into that realm. If you land there, you'll be able to you'll be able to do this and make this look like you're shooting it for Vogue. And then if you continue to want to shoot this, your rates will skyrocket because your stuff is going to look like it's straight out of a magazine. But part of that comes from knowing how to pose people. You can't know how to pose people without opening Vogue and opening and noticing, wow, Carty's right. Like most subjects are projecting their energy forward to subject, to viewer, to camera. All right, this is my daughter. One second. Hello, daughter. Hi, baby. I'm live right now, so I can't chat for too long. Are you what train are you getting on? 4:30. All right, I'll see you there. Do you want to say hi to my live stream? Do you want to say hi to my live stream?
Yeah.
Say hi to everybody.
It's on. Okay, hi everybody.
All right, baby. I'll see you in a bit.
Okay. I'll see you soon. Love you.
Love you too. All right. Child, I'm a dad. You can't forget that. Like, dad. And again, my kids are on their way. That's my 18-year-old. My kids are on their way. They're getting a train in 10 minutes, so they'll be here in like an hour. So I hope this helps you, Lincia, everything that I'm expressing here. And I also want you to know that this is also for you an 11, because I recognize your level up. Just because I'm super hard on you, I still recognize your level up, okay? I recognize your level up, and this is a level up. So don't stop, just hear the things that I say to you and keep trotting on. You're doing amazing. And I hope that also you are in or getting phase 0 so you can start wrapping your head around forming this into a business, a real business. Portfolio Lab, I help you develop the work. In my accelerator, in the Carty Method system, I teach you how to develop the business around that work. It all starts here, though, with Portfolio Lab. All right, guys, that is Lincia Taylor. Lincia, thanks for submitting. Good shit. All right. So next up is Natalie Bennett. Natalie says, I was able to complete this photo session yesterday with several models, thinking about submitting one of these for portfolio review number 32. Well, you just did that because I'm about to look at it. A7 IV, 7200, ISO 200, 135. You shot this at 135 millimeters with a 2.8 at 2.8 at a 200th of a second. This is Natalie Bennett. Natalie, you're onto something here. Again, the posing is something that I'm always like watching. The location selection is something that I'm always watching, but you're leveling up. You're leveling up in quality. Again, for me, the pose is a little kitschy with the holding the glasses. It's the same as like the looking at the watch, and like the pose is kitschy, and like a kitschy pose, dates you. It means that you don't know what's current, what's hot, what's right now, because you're letting someone, like if someone's like, hey, can I just take the glasses and look? I'm like, I mean, you can do it. I'm not going to use it. I'm not like, I'll shoot it for you. I won't let you use it. And they'll be like, why? Because I'm going to say, because it's not 1985. That's why. Because it's not 1995. Because it's not 1985. Like, we're trying to do contemporary poses. What she's doing with the feet, hella cute. What she's doing with the arm up, I'm going to get into that in a second. But the holding of the glasses, take her hand from holding the glasses to put her hand on her hip. Put her hand on her hip, and then you know what that does? Is it cinches her waist. And it actually gives our eye, like you see now, we come down here. We see her face, but now if this arm was here, now we come down through the whole photo and then back up. But because her now eye is here, now we're like, oh, this girl thinks that she's all that. This girl thinks that she's Miss Thing. This girl thinks that she's smart. Like, now you're getting into the psychology of why this girl thinks that this pose is cool. So we have to control our models. We have to control our models, and it's hard to do that if you're not looking at Vogue. If you're not looking at Vogue. Now, this girl is not a model. She's like an influencer. So you still have to shoot her like an authority, but you have to shoot her in a way that's most flattering for her body style and also for her brand, which means you can't let her do anything that's hokey. The location, the park makes this very city, very urban outfit look snapshotty. And then the way that the horizon line is, because you can just follow this horizon line and you can see that your horizon line is like a little bit off, but then obviously her body line here appears straight. But because I can see this horizon line in here, I know that the shot should actually like go this way a little bit. And the more that you look at it, you can see that the ground is actually kind of crooked here. So this kind of stuff, it's like, choosing locations is incredibly difficult. Posing subjects is incredibly difficult. It is something that comes from us, but it gets better when we have better inputs. The more inputs that we have, the better our subjects, we can direct them into posing. If we don't have any inputs, then we just let our subject do whatever they want to do. And for me, this is an example of your subject wanted to do this, and Natalie, you just let her do it. So now I'm going to show you. This is a cover. This is what this looks like as a cover. But now look at what this looks like as an 8x10. Because as an 8x10, her arm is actually going out of the frame. And Natalie, please check your camera to make sure it's not set for 16:9. Make sure your camera is set for 3:2. So you see now how her arm's reaching out. So now on Instagram, her arm is out of the frame. But what if rather than you having her go like this straight up with her arm, what if you didn't let her do straight up because she's going out of your frame? What if you did this and told her to just go like this? Just bend that arm that's leaning across her head. And guess what? Now it frames her, brings you back into looking at her face instead of taking you out of the picture. And now that works for your composition. Yes or yes. So I also want you to see the balance of how heavy this tree is. Heavy meaning dominating the frame versus this. And if you had have moved over a little bit that way and cut a little bit of this tree out, well, then now these two trees balance. Do you see what I mean? Like now the two sides balance because the thickness here matches the thickness here. You see what I'm saying? So there's a lot to this. And when I look at photographs, I break down all of this, and being in Portfolio Lab lets me break down all of this for you. Natalie, it is a good swing, but you need to increase consistency and increasing shoot volume because you need to buy magazines and look at poses and cropping and location choices and all of that stuff. They are always going to help you be a better photographer than if you are just trying to come up with ideas and poses and all of that stuff out of your head. Again, more, better, new. This is you doing a new pose, something that you thought would be cool or something that she thought would be cool, but it's not a new pose. It's an old pose. It's dated and it just kills your photo. I hope that helps you. That is Miss Natalie Bennett. Natalie, thank you for submitting. Miss Caitlin Montgomery, thank you, girl, for saying such nice words. How's it going with your GoFundMe? Israel Cordona III. Israel says, hey, Carty, here is one of the instructors from the Japanese sword school I shoot portraits for. Amazing. Took this portrait in May when I traveled to Maryland for a photo shoot. EOS R 24 to 105 f4, shot at 70 ISO, 200 f4 to 250th of a second, shot natural light. This is Israel Cardona III, also known as Illumina D. Israel, let's get it on. So again, this is close. This is close. This is close. There's a couple of things. There's an exposure thing. This is overcast. Oops, I need this tool. This is overcast. This is an overcast day, okay, with like thick forest. Oops. So there's not a lot of, but then also it's midday. And how do I know all of this stuff? Well, I know all of this stuff just by looking at this photograph. I can tell you that it's overcast just based on the quality of light. I can tell you that this is in a forest because I can tell you from the density of the trees that obviously there's tall trees which are also affecting the light. And I can tell you it's midday overcast because although it's overcast, it's still 12 noon. The reason I can tell that is because of the raccoon eyes that are happening with this guy. That's happening because the sun is directly up there, then there's a layer of clouds, and then it's casting light. Just because there's a layer of clouds, there's still direction. The sun is still coming from top down. So although we have and the reason I can tell you that it's overcast is because the raccoon eyes are soft. Like it's diffused, right? It's not hard light. So because it's diffused and you can see the diffusion of the shadows underneath his chin, all this diffusion, there's no hard edge. So I know he's in shade because the shadows are quite gradual. And the way that it goes from highlight to shadow and that transition, only shade does that. Only shade does this transition of being lit and then not being lit. That gradual transition, that's shade. And shade at high noon does this to eyes. Okay, so I can see that you have a reflector. You're kicking in a reflector to try to tone down some of the raccoon eyes. Sadly, in this kitsch situation, a reflector doesn't kick in enough light. You actually have to bring in an outdoor studio light and when you're doing that, you have to expose it in such a way that it still looks natural. Oops. Let's see where we're at right here. This button here. Okay. So all of that to say, this is a very good swing. There's a couple of framing things that you're doing, Israel. You can see how close he is to the edge. When you go to print, and again, remember, print is the highest frequency of photography. Print, it's going to clip here. You see how close this samurai sword is to the edge? When that goes to print, that's also going to clip. So you need to give your images space. You need to pull back and let your images breathe. You're also you put him in front of a railing. Snapshot. Take him not in front of the railing and take him down here. Take him in this path. Put him right here and you shoot him that way. Photograph. Snapshot because you shot him where he stood. And you weren't concerned with what's happening below his waist. Okay? Like that barrier, that's just, you guys were just there. Intentional photograph is you find the place that you want to make the photograph, and then you and him walk there. And then you're like, okay, stand here. You check with and the next thing, he's not he's in the open, although he's in overcast. Over here, you get a little bit of canopy. So if you tuck him under here and shoot the portrait here, guess what? No more raccoon eyes because you're blocking the top down light from happening, Israel. You see what I'm saying? So this is a good attempt This is a good swing. I want to see more. I want you to also see how you're cropping his hands. Like just cut right across the wrist. The other hand, cut right at the hand. The sword, cut. Like this is a picture that you need to see this gentleman's entire outfit all the way to his feet, which means you need to shoot him full length, which means you can't shoot him here if you can't back up with this lens, which is again why you go on a journey. So very close, but for those reasons, this is the stuff that the next time that you shoot Illumina, I want you to lock this in, because again, this, you see all the different points that I'm making where his hands are cropped, how close you are, the railing going through the background. It's just because you just were like, oh, let me get a shot. And you just shot a picture and probably shot 2 or 3. For me, I shoot 100 frames for one idea. So this is you taking a thought and thinking that a thought for a photo is an idea for a photo. Like a thought is the beginning of something, but you have to develop it into an idea. And then the idea, you have to develop it through to what will be your final photograph. That takes 100 frames. Based on this frame and all the mistakes, I know you only shot between 1 and 3. Let me know if I'm wrong. I hope that helps you. This is Illumina D. Thank you for submitting. Again, it's a good swing. It's a level up, but again, if the goal and the objective is to shoot a portrait of this man, you need a full length, 3/4, half length, and a headshot. Like that's how you have to map. Like if I'm taking your picture, I'm shooting full length, 3/4, half length, and full on. Nikumba, why would I do event photography? That's taking pictures. Have I done it? Of course. Back in like when I first started. Now, no, that's not what I do. That's one of the things that I say no to. I do not show up someplace when there's things happening. Doesn't matter how big, a Gianni Versace fashion show. I don't give a fuck. I'm not going there with cameras to take photos. I'll shoot my own stuff backstage, but I don't do that stuff. So have I? Yes. Is it like, again, taking pictures versus making pictures? I make pictures. Anything on the other side of the fence, taking pictures is a commodity. It is a race to the bottom. So no. And again, it's not something that I recommend. And it's not something that you should be spending any kind of brain power on. All right. Next up, this is now, first of all, you need to know about my accelerator. My Pro Accelerator starts again on September 28th. My accelerator only opens twice per year. My accelerator is how you learn every single thing that is inside my brain that I know to start a photography business in the shortest, fastest way possible. I have it in here. I've laid it out in 7 phases. It starts with phase 0, which is why I say you need to do that, because you can get that for $47. Phase 0. Then phase 1, which is your work in your market. Phase 2, the packaging. Phase 3, the value business. Phase 4, the systems. Phase 5, outward reach. And phase 6, integration and mastery. My accelerator, I teach you the 7 phases of the Carty method. You get support. It includes Portfolio Lab. So if you want an upgrade, the price that you pay for that includes this. And I help you develop your work and I help you develop your business. And I do this in 18 weeks. It's the ultimate it's the cash flow, camera to cash flow challenge, the ultimate camera to cash flow challenge. And I'm doing a webinar talking about it when I come back in September. When I come back, I'm going to Cape Town, South Africa. I leave next week, Thursday. I'll be gone for 2 weeks from the 20th till the 31st. And I will not be doing Portfolio Lab in this way during that time, but I will be doing some secret live streams from South Africa. And there's going to be like ways that you guys can connect with me, that I can connect with you. And I'm going to be uploading some content for you to be watching while I'm away. All right. So if you're interested in being a part of this accelerator, go to thecartymethod.com/accelerator and get yourself on the wait list. If you're on the wait list, you'll get all the information via email. All right, do that right now. Next, we're down to our last 5. This is Allison Diller. Allison says, this is a reshoot Breaking Barriers assignment with key light difference and the northwest positioning to avoid horror lighting. Tried flagging the hotspot in the middle, tried to reduce it on Allen too much, still experimenting. Background surface is an acrylic sheet from a hardware store, beginning the collection of surfaces. Good for you, Allison. I'm very proud of you. This is an A7R3, 28-70, 2.8 at 28 millimeter. ISO 100 f22 at 1/60th of a second, shot with 2 Godox 8200s. Okay, the next thing is lens selection and focal length selection. The 28-70 at 28, you're going to have to shoot a 50. You're going to have to shoot a 50 at 50, or you're going to have to shoot this 28-70 at 50 because of distortion. Because when you aim top down, because of the way the lines start to converge, there might be issues with converging lines. I'm telling you that even before I look at it. But we're about to look at Miss Allison Diller. These are now, by the way, the people we're looking at right now are all in my accelerator program. Allison Diller. Allison, girl, what a difference. It's almost like you listened to every single thing that I said and you implemented it into this new photograph. Yes or yes? Every single thing that I said, you implemented into this photograph. So, Allison, much, 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 much better, but I wasn't wrong about the distortion. I see it. I see the distortion. There is, and again, it's very hard to see, but you're going to see bending lines that there's distortion this way and there's distortion this way. Now, I want you to try maybe lens correction. There is like a little bit of distortion that's happening with these lines. And essentially the way that wide angle lenses work is they kind of converge like that. So the center is just fine, but you start to get some weirdness on the outer lines. So I am noticing that, Allison. I am seeing, like, perspective wise with a normal lens, I shouldn't be seeing like under here so much. I should see more of a top down. And then I shouldn't be seeing like this side of this product. If my camera is here, I should be seeing more top down. But again, because you're doing wide and it's like bending that part of the frame, it is doing some distortion. So light, yes. Layout. Let's look at look at how disciplined this layout is. Very good. Again, the what's this called? Ahama. The hammer is a little too close to that edge. These 3 products are a little bit too close. I'd like to bring the space. And again, the idea is to make this whole page feel like it's unified, feel like this whole thing is one shot. What you're making this feel is it's 2 shots. That's a shot and then that's a shot. I mean, that's what you're doing because you're shooting it for a double page. But what I'm trying to say is offset this screwdriver, maybe offset this hammer a little bit and let it come up in here. Maybe turn, like, it doesn't have to be so perfect. Like, we've seen the perfect version, but now if I give you this frame, can you give me the chaos version? Where this wrench is here, that's there, you put something here, there's something here, there's like, where now knowing that this is your space, give me the chaos version where now you lay out the same products. And my next rule is you have to shoot with a 50. You have to shoot with a 50. That is the next thing. Broken Compass, thanks for subscribing. Welcome. So that's the next thing, Allison. But very good swing. Your light, the difference in the light is so good. Do you guys remember the last light, how she was lighting from underneath and all the shadows were going up instead of going down? This is so much better. And your exposure, overall, Allison, this is an 11. This is a yes. And definitely an improvement and definitely like a fix from last week. Taylor, chill out. Swifty, I got this Taylor Swift chick. She won't leave. She shows up all the time. You know how strange it is to have Taylor Swift calling you? It's mental. Anyways, this is Mike Morrison. Taylor, stop it. Okay, Mike Morrison, A7R5, 7200, shot at 70. 40th of a second. 40th, Mike. 1 over the longest focal length of the lens. Are you on a tripod here? F4 at 100th of a second. I'm worried about your shutter speed here, Mike. I'm worried about your shutter speed because you're so slow. But you might be on a tripod. This is Mike Morrison. Mike. Thanks for submitting. Mike, this is clean. This is clean. I'm just worried about why you went so slow with the shutter speed. And did you need to? I'm also looking at the file. I'm feeling the way that you're giving me a 4,000 pixel wide photo. I think this is what you're doing. I think you're exporting your file, your photo out to what the default is, which is like 27 blah 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 by whatever, and then you're opening that in Photoshop and you're taking this default and then you're upscaling that to 4,000 pixels and then you're submitting. The reason that I can see that is because when I go to 100%, with this picture, it's already jagged. Like I'm already seeing rastering on the lines. Like the lines aren't smooth. I'm already seeing rastering, which means this is an upscaled image. So then when I zoom a little bit further, where I should only start seeing raster, like I shouldn't start seeing rasterizing really at all, but I'm seeing it. You can see it in these straight lines. You can see the jaggedness. Like this is rasterizing. You see that? That's a sizing issue because you're upscaling. Like look at what it's doing to the car. Look at what it's doing to the quality of your image. This is all processing. And Nick, for sure, this needs to be a workshop. Like, look at what it's doing to the car. So in theory, when I'm showing you this image at this size, that's what I see at this size, but I'm hyper exaggerating it so you can see. And I also see it at this size. So at full screen, I can tell that you're upscaling or you're doing something, because images don't look like this. They're supposed to be super smooth. And you can see how other people, when I enlarge their image to this, like if I just pull up the previous submission, or let me get a one with the right exposure here. So when I pull this picture and when I go to 100%, and then when I go even further, you don't see rasterizing. Look at the lines. Look at his nose. You see how you don't see that jaggedness? It's because it's sized properly. And the process of sizing is from raw, you export into a TIFF, and that TIFF is full size, and it's at 300 DPI. And then from there, you can take a Nick, I feel like we have to do a workshop on this because, again, it's like you can tell Photoshop or Lightroom to process your images out at a specific width and height. And that's what I'm doing. And I feel like this is not done that way, Mike. So technically, you're losing on such a great image. Again, it's a great capture. It's shot well. The location is great. Nice low horizon. So again, nice low horizon. This is what I mean. You see where his horizon line is? It's incredibly low. Now the background is just the background. You're seeing the stance of the car, like the gait, the aggressiveness. Like, yes, Mike. But the problem we need to fix for you is what you're doing in processing that's actually killing your files, because you're butchering your files in post, and there is an overall quality loss that I see in this image that I can only help you fix if I have the raw file and I show you step by step what I would do. I hope this helps you, Mike. Again, this is a great capture. I'm giving you an 11, but it's undersized. It's undersized and then sized up, and you don't have the bit depth to do that. Therefore, you're losing quality, and I want to help you fix that. All right, Mike, make sure that you jump into the community, ask some questions of Nick, who is one of the Carty Method coaches, or Garan, which is another one of my coaches that is here to help. And I'm also here to help. But again, Nick and Garan, again, we can dive into this on Thursday's workshop. Next up is Samuel Salling. Samuel is an architectural photographer. Samuel says, just a backyard photo of a new residential office development attached to a renovated building. 2-month-old work, but maybe it fits my portfolio or not. Sony A7 IV. This is something that I want. Sony A7 IV with the 16-35, shot at 25, ISO 100, f13 or 200th of a second. This is what I want you to hear. Samuel, what I teach people in my accelerator is this. You have to hold on to strong ideas loosely. You hold on to strong ideas loosely, because if another stronger, better idea comes along, you can let this idea go so you can hold on to this strong idea loosely. Like, it's how you adapt. Holding on to weak ideas strongly, that's the guy who's like, I only shoot film. I only shoot in black and white. I only do street photography because it's pure. Those are people who are strong, holding on to weak ideas strongly. So for me, I adapt, I flow. And if something like shooting video is like, I'm a photographer, but now video is like, I do way more video than I do photography. Like, I tell stories with video, and I'm on YouTube, and I broadcast, and like so many other things that I do more than just actually like taking photos. But of course, it's an evolution, it's a development, but it's the foundation. Hold on to strong ideas loosely. I was afraid of being on camera, but my desire for a successful life surpassed my fear of being on camera. So I held on to the idea of I'm going to be horrible on camera loosely. And then I replaced it with I'm going to be great on camera. And I replaced that with I'm going to be better on camera. And replace that with I'm going to be authentic and myself on camera and be okay with making mistakes. So it's an evolution. This is Samuel Salling. Samuel, thank you for submitting. This is a yes, my friend. Yes, I know exactly who you are as a photographer. I know exactly what it is that you're trying to do. And I also know what your portfolio looks like because I've been helping you develop it for 1.5 years. Hey, Sacier, Jacobo, welcome. Thanks for subscribing. I appreciate you. Samuel, this hits very, very good. And the lines are straight. Look at it as a cover. It's architectural digesty, and also showing the playground humanizes it. The fact that there's no people here, there's like an empty swing, like all of this is like a yes for me. You have to watch your frames and like, is there more interesting stuff here that maybe could have also been included in the frame? Because again, you're cutting the slide like quite aggressively. But overall, there's nothing in this photo that doesn't need to be here. The lines are really nice. You dropped your horizon really low. You're shooting and really propping up this video. I mean, this building. This is a yes for me. Let's look at what it looks like as an 8x10. And you can see, Samuel, as an 8x10, this still holds the integrity of the frame. You still maintain the top of that building without losing the integrity of the frame. Let's look at it as a cover. You can see it hits hard, really hard as a cover. So this is a yes. The exposure is good. This should go in your book. Yes, absolutely. Yes. Rarely do shots from the archives work for portfolios, today's portfolios, but sometimes yes. And this one is definitely a yes. Samuel, your consistency lately, Samuel Salling, has been insanely good. Keep it up. All right. Ready to take your photography business to the next level? I've created 3 powerful tools designed to make an immediate impact on your workflow, your client outreach, and your daily habits. These resources will help you work smarter, grow faster, and feel more confident in building your career. You'll find links to all 3 under tools at thecartymethod.com. If you're struggling to find clients, my Cold Outreach Master Pack has everything that you need to land new business. It includes 18 proven email templates and a step-by-step guide for writing emails that get opened and generate real responses. If you're ready to take your client hunting strategy up a notch, this pack gives you clear, effective blueprints to start getting results. Consistency builds success. My professional photographer habit tracker is your daily accountability tracker. It helps you build the habits that matter most to running a successful photography business. Track your progress, set meaningful goals, and stay focused on what moves the needle. If you're serious about making steady progress, this tracker is a game changer. Shoots can get chaotic. Stay organized. My Ultimate Photographer's Call Sheet is your one-stop solution for planning and managing every detail of your shoots. From client communication and location info to equipment checklists and timelines, this tool helps you stay on top of it all. With my call sheet, you'll run your shoots like a seasoned pro, no matter how big or small the project. This is the call sheet that clients will remember forever. These tools are built for photographers who are serious about their craft and ready to streamline their businesses, connect with clients, and build professional habits that last. You can find them all under tools at thecartymethod.com. Let's start transforming your business today. All right, we are down to our last 2 photos. This is Joseph Baldwin. Joseph, these are cartel members, all the people in the Carty cartel, from Nick Johnson, Garan, Joseph, Calligraphy, Liza, Sean Thomas. These are people who are all part of the Carty method. They've turned their business around, and all of them are really, really good at helping the community of photographers that is the Carty method. All the people in Portfolio Lab, all the people in Pro Lab, in my accelerator, my cartel members are the go-to, the other photographers that can help you answer your questions on like, and again, they all just make me look good. So, Nick in chat, thank you. Sean Thomas, everybody else, all my cartel members, I appreciate you all. We are looking at Joseph. Joseph is one of my cartel members. Joseph says, here is a strategic imperfection moment in between takes from a recent collaboration featuring Converse. Shot with the Canon EOS R 50mm 1.8, shot at a 1/60th of a second at ISO 200. Shot natural light with a reflector bounce. This is Joseph Baldwin. JB, this is a yes, bro. This hits. This hits. There's a depth of field issue, but I'm not... Let me hide this. There's a depth of field issue, but I'm not going to break balls too much on it. This really hits. It's quite balanced. You can see what it looks like as a double page spread, so it's going to really work as a magazine piece. But let's look at the focus of these 2 shoes. Your back shoe, the back foot is locked. Super, super tight. But the aperture that you chose, you can see from the Converse logo, and especially with the 50, a 50mm gives you like that true depth of field. So you can see even from here, as we're going up to the toe of the shoe, we're starting to lose focus. I mean, it's close, but as we're starting to get in here, you're losing those checks. When we go to the second shoe, because this second shoe is closer, you can see that a majority of the shoe is out of focus. So this shoe is the closer shoe. The whole toe, the entire body of the shoe, like the only focus point is way back here, is where it just gets into focus. And that's because like we deal with planes, right? Like if the lens is here, this is the lens plane. So it's all about distance. And if this is what our focus point is, well, then you need an aperture that gives you from here to here, like that distance, which is like 12 inches, right? And an aperture that's going to hit that is probably, with a 50, I'm going to say 5.6 to f8. Now, if I look back at what aperture that you shot this with, you shot this this and you didn't tell me what aperture you shot it with. You told me the shutter, the ISO, but not the aperture. So you didn't include what aperture, but I'm guessing it's based on this depth of field, I'm going to say that you shot this at 2.8. Maybe 3.5, maybe f4, but I'm putting money that you shot this at 2.8. So because of that, now if that's the case, if this is our focus point, 5.6. Okay, so there you go. I was close. So 5.6. So now with a 50, we need now to move this foot back. We need to move this foot back so this part of the shoe is aligned with this part of so they're on the same plane. This one is too far forward. So then push this shoe back and then check the focus again at 5.6. Joseph said he was at 5.6. Now, if you shoot this shoe and focus here, then this shoe is out of focus and then you lose the Converse logo. So this becomes a tricky composition for me. Yeah. It's Nick says it's how close you are. And that close, you need to be at focal length to make FB. I don't know what FB means there, Nick, that you're trying to relay. But yeah, for me, it's just it's this plane and making sure that this plane is the same, or that these shoes are too close or closer together. Overall, this is a very good swing. Can it go in your book? Yes. But I'd like you to reshoot this with here. Let me show you. If you shot this at ISO 200, bro, ISO 200 at 5.6, just go to ISO 400. That gives you f8. Go to ISO 800 and that gives you f11. So you just need to 200 and for you with the EOS R, you're not going to get really that much quality loss. So yeah, even at f11, because you're so close focusing on this, Nick is even the background will still be out of focus, and he's right. Very good swing. This is an 11 for the man, the myth, the legend, the one and only Joseph Baldwin. Joseph, well played, my friend. Well played. Taylor's showing up again. Appreciate it. Where's John at? John, JT, you good? Travolta, you good, bro? I don't know what he's doing. Last photo of the day is Sean Thomas. Sean says, I recently captured a rare 2021 Audi RS6 Avant. There's only 125 in North America. So before the car show, I scouted a quick location, and then when I told the owner the idea, he agreed. Thank you for your continued support, Carty. You're very welcome. EOS R 40mm Tamron, or he shot at 40mm with a Tamron 24-70 2.8. The lens died on this shoot. I gave you a 24-70. Oh, this was that one, right? I gave you a 24-70, a new one to replace this lens. ISO 100, 100th of a second, shot at 7.1 natural light. This is Sean Thomas, our last photo of the day. Sean, this hits. This is a yes for me. This is a yes. This is a yes. I want to give it to you a couple of different ways. I want to show you this photo. First of all, let me take out that sky and give you that photo back like that. You see what I did there? I just took the sky out and some of the things that were happening left and right. Now look at that frame. Now I see gray, gray, white, gray, white. That's it. Little bit of green here that in a perfect world I would cut right down there. Right? Do you see the difference? You're trying to include a lot in this frame, but look what you're doing. What you're doing is you're giving this to me. Okay. And assume this, anything outside of that perimeter is not important. Anything in, like, think about it. Why the sky? Why is that important? Right? Why is this important up here? Why is this bush important? Oops. Like, why is this important? Why is this bush important? Why is this important? Because all it's doing, this color is just taking me away from this neutral gray, right? So you're showing me too much behind the fifth wall. I don't mind the garbage bins. I don't mind the industrialness. I love this clean wall, but I'm thinking of all the different ways that you could tuck this car in here, back this up a bit, do nose first. Like, there's 100 things that you could do. I think that you really executed this well, Sean, but I know you shot more frames. I want to see those more frames, and I do want you to, again, now even look what this looks like. Now, the car's not in the right spot, but look at what this looks like when I completely now just give you the gray as a background. Look how it hugs the car. You see how it hugs the car? Now your location is hugging the car, right? So you can see the difference with your entire frame, how it's now like I'm looking at placement and like there's too much environment in this photo. Again, Sean, you're a killer. And if I look at Sean Thomas, if I look at your work, your site, you know what I mean about being singular with the elements within your frame, because that's what you do. You're very singular with the elements within your frames. So part of my role as a coach is to show you back your own photographs and show you how you frame, show you how you use spaces, and show you how you remove distractions from frames. So this picture here, you can see when comparing to other instances of you doing car photography on location, you can see that like you're very singular with your ideas, and whenever you deviate from that singularity, it gets busy. It gets busy really quickly. Again, you do this, Sean, so well. I want you to see this now again, and how this now is, it's not you today. It's you a year ago. Do you know what I mean? It's you not today. It's you like back then, and you've evolved into this new creator. And part of my role as a coach is to keep you on track. And when you're shooting, to keep you like, okay, I see this scene. Where is my frame? My frame is here. My frame is here. So now car placement now has to work within that space, because all of this shit I'm cutting out. So again, you picked the right spot. You just used it a little loosely. Loosely. I want you to use your locations the way that you use them, which is a little tighter. I hope that helps you. By the way, it's still an 11. It still hits. It still hits. But again, Sean, I'm only judging you against you. It's only you against you, guy. It's you v you. There's no, I am not even a factor. I'm just your guide. All right, guys, let's get into some photos of the week. Yeah. We got some good ones this week, and some photographers that I'm really, really quite proud of. This photographer right here, Mr. Courtney Turner. Photo of the week, Courtney. Well done, my guy. Thank you for submitting. Courtney, remember, I want to see this Corvette from all angles. Remember everything I said about the background. And also, by the way, the thing that you did, Sean did too. You see that? The thing that you did, Sean did too. So again, lock that in, but I'm watching you, Courtney. You're doing great. Stay the course, my guy. I'm proud of you. That is Courtney Turner, our first photo of the week. Our second photo of the week goes to this guy. Very, very, very proud of this photographer. This guy leveled up this week. Ladies and gentlemen, your friend and mine, William Sedgwick. Willie. There you go, Sedgwick. That's a photo of the week, my guy. You killed this. If I told people this was my photo, they'd believe me. Well done, Courtney. Well done, Courtney, and well done, Sedgwick. William, well done. All right, photos of the week. I'm looking for photos of the week only. I was hard as hell on this guy too, but this is a level up unequivocally. Nat, I'm hearing you. I'm watching you, and I want you to be submitting. Where are your photos this week, Natalie Murdoch? Ladies and gentlemen, our next photo of the week goes to Rafael Ortiz. Rafael Ortiz. Raf, remember everything that I said, but you hit something. Please, 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 please photograph this girl again. Please. Don't you think you should photograph that girl again? You? Yes? Photograph the girl again, right? Right? I hope so. These days, never mind. I think dementia's setting in with those two. That's Rafael Ortiz. All right. Photos of the week only. This photographer. I was incredibly hard on this photographer, but I'm telling you, this is a level up for this shooter. And the next time she submits, oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, your next photo of the week goes to Lincia Taylor. Lincia. Photo of the week. You learned something from this submission, and you learned something from the last one, and the last one, and the last one, and the last one before that. You're leveling up. This one was an important one because I taught you some body language things. I taught you some body language things in a way I believe that you'll never forget. I think that after today's review, the way that I talked about the heart and project like that, I think that's going to lock in for you, and I think it's going to really help your posing moving forward. I'm excited for you, Miss Lincia Taylor. So on the fence for this photo, but I'm giving love. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a photo of the week for Natalie Bennett. Natalie, there's something here, man. This is so close. This is so close. I'm giving you love because, again, this is a level up, and you have completely changed who you are as a photographer since you've been watching me, since you've been participating in Portfolio Lab. I see your improvements. I see them, Natalie. I hear you, and I'm giving you love. This is a level up. I'm proud of you. Keep it going. Keep it going. All right. Photos of the week. This shooter, a new shooter, but again, this shooter learned a lot from this review. I'm really looking forward to more photography from this one. You know them as Israel Cordona III. Israel, let's get it on. That's a photo of the week. Very well done. Again, all the stuff that I see, the more experienced you get, the more these reviews, you'll see the things that I see. But yeah, you hit it on that one. Congratulations. Another photo of the week for this girl. I'm so proud of you. So proud. And again, the females. Yes, step it up, females. Let's go. I need more females in this group. More female photographers. More females in the industry. Let's go. Again, this is a female-run industry. There's so many male photographers swinging egos, but I'm telling you, like, the photographers that get it, the males that get it, understand that this is like, it's like this. We have to work with. It's not about egos and icons. It's about understanding. I'm telling you, female photographers, there is more. There needs to be more that are shooting at my level, and I'm here to help the ones that want to learn get to that spot. Ladies and gentlemen, your next photo of the week goes to Miss Allison Diller. Allison, that is a photo of the week, girl. All of the things that you improved from in this one frame from our last one. So proud of you. So proud of you. Cameras know no gender. Photography knows no gender. It knows no age, knows no language. It's beautiful. It knows no color. Absolutely true. Now, I would be giving a photo of the week to this photographer, and I'm going to give a photo of the week to you, Mike Morrison, for this picture. But I need you to fix that technical flaw that we have with the processing, because it's killing your quality. This really hits, but we need to fix that. Please talk to my team so we can get to the bottom of what you're doing with the processing. The only way for us to get there is to know step by step by step by step exactly what you do, straight to the point where you're sending it to us, and we will find the mistake. All right, next photo of the week goes to this photographer. He shoots architecture. His name, Samuel Salling. Samuel, that is a photo of the week, unequivocally hits. Like, your consistency, this guy, you have to understand, Samuel Salling wanted to be a portrait photographer. He works with architects. He has a real estate background. And this guy, he fancied himself a portrait photographer, and he was in my accelerator for 6 months trying to be a portrait photographer. And then he tells me he wants to change niches, and this guy's starting to get traction. And then he tells me he wants to change niches, and I'm like, to what? Tell me what you want to change niches to. And he says, architecture and interiors. And I'm saying, what do you know about architectures and interiors, Samuel? He's like, I work with architects. I shoot, like, this is my business. This is what I do. I'm surrounded by, and I'm like, then why did you not think of that before? And he's like, the hardest thing to see is the thing that's right under your nose. Let's look at what Samuel Salling's portfolio now looks like. Not 6 months later. This is what this guy's portfolio looks like. Samuel Salling. He's in my accelerator program. I am turning this guy into the most sought after architectural and interiors photographer in Europe. Like, that is my goal for him. This is all I do. Samuel is in Pro Lab. He's in my accelerator. He's in Portfolio Lab. And you can see this is a sharpened spear. This is a portfolio that this is all he does is architectural photography. And you can see, when you see this body of work all together, how hard it hits. How hard it hits. And I'm telling you, this was a man who was lost. Samuel was lost. And I helped this guy, and my team helped this guy find his eyes. And now look at this guy as an architectural and interiors photographer. Look at this guy. Look at him sing. Look at him fly. And believe me, every week this guy sends photos to me for review so he can build this business that I'm helping him build. And you can see here, by looking at this body of work, you can see that focus is what happens when you find your wings. And funny enough, you find your wings when you focus. And this is why Samuel Salling will have nothing but success in his photography career, because he understands, like, you need to be known for one thing. One thing. Yeah, but I can shoot this, and yeah, I can shoot that, and I like shooting that. And it's like, bro, cry me a fucking river. All of us are good at shoot. I can shoot everything too, bro. You think that you're a unicorn because you're good at shooting everything in your mind? Imagine this. How good would you be if you just picked one of those things and put all your energy into that? How good do you think that you would be as a car photographer if that's all you did? How good do you think that you'd be as an architectural photographer if that's all you did? That's all you shot. That's all you talked about. Your social media, all architecture. That's all your all the people on your LinkedIn, they're all architects. Like, you're in that world. That's how you work. I'm proud of you guys all. Everybody who has the courage to have me look at their work, I'm proud of you. It takes a certain level of courage, but we are about to wrap up. I got to go pick up my kids from the station. But you need to know this. Week 35, your assignment is editorial story. I want to see a 5-page editorial story that tells a complete narrative through photography. I want you to shoot a cover. I want you to shoot a double-page spread and then 2 more inside images. And this is so important, 2 more verticals, that I'm giving you until September the 4th to do this. This is the first time ever. This is going to be the longest photo review show I've ever did because I'm going to look at all 5 of your images. Okay? First time ever, I am letting you submit a full editorial. I'm giving you the rest of the month to do it, okay? This is going to be the assignment of your lifetime. Do this well, learn how to shoot a cover, double-page spread, and put that all together in one story for one ideal client. Oh my God, I'm so excited. It's due on September the 3rd. This is why this matters. Magazines, brands, and publications are constantly looking for photographers who can deliver complete stories, not just single images. Mastering this approach, it opens you up to higher paying editorial work and positions you as an industry leader and a storyteller. You can't not do this assignment. I hope that you are so amped for this assignment. If this goes well, I'll do more multi-page assignments. I'll do more. I promised you, Portfolio Lab is a career changer. It is a game changer, and it will get you to the point where you're making money with your camera. But developing your work is the first part. Developing your business, that's the second part. If you want to get in my accelerator, as I mentioned, my accelerator opens again on September the 28th. You need to go to thecartymethod.com/accelerator. Put yourself on the wait list so I can send you information for my upcoming info session. This is the ultimate 18-week camera to cash flow challenge. I want you in there. If you're trying to be a pro, if you're trying to leave that 9-to-5 job you hate, I have the roadmap. Please let me help you get there. I'll see you guys on Thursday. Thanks for watching.
This commercial-free live stream was brought to you by the members of this channel. If it wasn't for you, we'd have to fill up these live streams with ads that would just interrupt the flow. The members of this channel make commercial-free content during these live streams possible. Consider becoming a member for $5 a month today to gain access to secret live streams, live chats, and to show your support with that crown badge next to your name. Sharing is caring. If this content has brought you value today, share it, clip it, post it to your socials. Curating and sharing helpful content makes you an expert, even if the content you're sharing isn't yours. Be a curator and share this content with your network. If you're an emerging or struggling photographer that's trying to break free from your current 9-to-5 grind and transition to the life of a working pro photographer, that's our obsession here at the Carty Method. Register, get the support you need. If you're alone and struggling at this craft, make sure you join the Carty Method community. You'll always find help in the show notes. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Find your creative and business genius with the Carty Method.